Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, Jerron Rice, founder and CEO of Magathy Payments, Maryland's highest rated merchant services provider. We help businesses become more profitable by lowering their cost of credit card acceptance and decreasing their time spent on payment reconciliation. Today, I wanted to give you 3 tips to help ensure that you don't get ravaged by a chargeback. Okay. So tip number 1, document everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Now, a lot of home improvement companies are really good about documenting on the actual contract. Home services companies, you guys need a little bit of help, right? So oftentimes like a plumber, electrician, HVAC contractor, they'll do pretty good with the actual proposal. But I've seen from our clients and other prospective clients that a lot of times the actual agreed upon scope of work is not actually documented in the form of a signed contract. That is problematic because you can have someone who understands how chargebacks work as a customer and intentionally give you the runaround because things are not documented properly, right? So keep good records, make sure that everything is documented, and even document the exclusions. So if you are a roofing company and you suggest replacing skylights because they're old and the flashing is damaged and there's a potential for leaks and the customer declines because of the cost, put that on the agreement that we have recommended replacing the skylights because they're old and the flashing has gone bad and they're probably going to leak and we're not responsible. Put that on the agreement and have them sign it so that 8 months down the road, when it does leak like you said it would, they have no grounds to stand on for a chargeback. Because if you don't, you're automatically going to look suspect if you just replace a roof and now it's leaking, right? So keep that in mind. Number 2, keep good records of everything that you document and have it readily available. So there are some company like our company, we assist our clients with the chargeback process. So myself and my team, we will craft the dispute letters on your behalf after we get your side of the story, but we need the signed agreement. We need any change addendums. We need the exclusions and things like that to be able to submit to their issuing bank, to the processor, to the card brand, so that they can get an overview of what's actually happening. And the quicker you get this process done, the better it's going to be, right? So you have 30 days to respond, but if you spend 15 days trying to get your records together, then that gives you very little wiggle room to get follow-up documentation if they need it. So keep good records and have those documents readily available. And lastly, if after the client has issued a chargeback, you decide that you are going to issue a refund or a partial refund so that the chargeback just goes away and you really don't want to deal with this customer, please, 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 please make sure that you are issuing a refund the same way that you collected the payment, right? So if you took a credit card, then you need to issue a refund back to that credit card, right? Do not give them a check, because through the process of the chargeback, if you issue a refund, you then have a digital documentation of that transaction in the processor system that they can see and verify. If you give them a check outside of that transaction, the chargeback doesn't automatically go away, because then they have to take the time to actually verify that you did issue them a refund through another means. And if you have a shiesty client that is trying to get over, they could say, I never got a check, right? So then you're starting over. The downside to this is you're going to have to float that money twice, right? So let's just say it's $1,000 transaction. They've issued a chargeback. The bank has pulled the $1,000 from you and is holding it in escrow while the investigation is going on. If you issue a refund to get that chargeback to go away, that's another $1,000, right? But it's going back to the customer, and then you have documentation that the issue has been resolved so that your original 1,000 gets returned. Now, if you do this properly, it shouldn't be a long drawn out process, typically, 2, 3, 4 business days. But it could take a couple weeks, depending on the processor that you're working with. So those are 3 tips to hopefully help you avoid the pain of losing money on a chargeback. Because we work on, primarily with home improvement companies, home services, B2B, and large ticket merchants, we assist our clients with chargebacks quite frequently. And it's not necessarily because our clients are doing anything wrong. It's just sometimes consumers are not great. And they will issue chargebacks on silly stuff. So if you found this information beneficial, please consider subscribing for more content. If you need to reach us, again, I'm Jerron Rice with Magathy Payments, 855-MAGATHY, 855-624-6849, or magathy.biz. Catch you guys in the next one.